Now, Hayley, you have bought with your channel points a Warhawk fucker accent, which you've requested should be alternating between all US presidents as I talk. Now, this is a challenge that I'm well up for. I'm going to pick a news story and I'm just going to read it. I'll go from Reagan to right through to Joe Biden. Right? This is one of the more difficult. This might be the most difficult accent challenge that you've ever requested from me, folks. Something that's not too serious. What about this? About the brilliant young tennis player. Okay. So it goes Reagan, Bush Sr., Clinton, Bush Jr., Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden. You ready? Here we go. Emma Raducanu's remarkable victory in the US Open was, among other things, a victory for the fearlessness of youth. The Guardian has picked out 6 teenagers, including Raducanu, who despite their tender years have already had a huge impact. I'm skipping through the first 2 because I'm not very good at them. By now, everybody knows the story of how Raducanu, aged just 18, became the first qualifier to win one of the 4 tennis Grand Slams. Just 3 months ago, she was waiting for her A-level results. She is now tipped to be Britain's first billion-dollar sports star after winning 10 straight matches without dropping a set, becoming the first British woman to win a Grand Slam since Virginia Wade at Wimbledon in 1977. It was just her second Grand Main Slam draw appearance, and no woman in the Open arena had ever won in so few attempts. What I'm trying to do is that Bush from The Simpsons. She is the youngest Grand Slam champion since Maria Sharapova in 2004. And remarkably, Raducanu has yet to win a match at a Women's Tennis Association WTA Tour event. The circuit that is the bread and butter of elite players. Woldef for 500. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Goblin Toes, I appreciate you thinking that's a spot on accent. I do. South Pop Morgan Freeman, that's I can see that. I can hear that as well as Wagner. She's addressed heads of state at the UN, met the Pope, sparred with the President of the US, and inspired 4 million people to join the climate strike on 20th of September 2019. It's just downhill from there. The largest climate demonstration in human history. Still just 18, she's continuing to push world leaders to do more to address the climate crisis. After a pause in public demonstrations during the coronavirus pandemic, a global strike-a-thon is planned for the 28th of the September-thon. Getting Jolly, a scientist and science person, was last year named as Time Magazine's first Kid of the Year. 15 from Denver, Colorado, as it inventicized technologicals across a range of field-a-thons, including a device metric gizmo that can identify lead in drinking water. Right, I pushed it a bit. In an interview with the actor and humanitarian Angelina Jolie, Getting Jolly said, "I don't look like your typical scientist. Everything I see on TV is that it's an older, usually white, man as a scientist. My goal has really shifted. Not only from creating my own devices to solve the world's problems, but inspiring others to do the same. Because from personal experience, it's not easy when you don't see anyone else just like you. At 19, Eilish is already one of the world's most successful pop stars, with 7 Grammys under her belt. Her first album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go, released in 2019, went multi-platinum. And last year, the US singer-songwriter became the youngest artist in history to write and record a theme for the James Bond franchise. Her second studio album, Happier Than Ever, top-selling album, folks. Tremendous. Just tremendous. 180,000 copies sold. Some people say it's the best album ever written. Eilish inspires devotion among her fan base. She has more than 90 million followers on Instagram. 90 million, folks, is fake news, and has used her platform to speak out about her struggles with depression and unrealistic expectations relating to body image. Davina Malum was the joint winner with Thunberg, the International Children's Peace Prize of 2019. I'm doing Bush. I've gone back into Bush. It's meant to be fucking Biden. I've accidentally done a better Bush than I did when I was trying to do Bush. Turns out the way for me to do a good George W. Bush is to try and do a Biden. A teenager from Cameroon set up an organisation called Children of Peace that tours schools, mosques, marketplaces in her homeland, speaking to children who could fall prey to extremist groups such as Boko Haram. That is fucking amazing, by the way, what Davina Malum has done, and I feel bad for reading it in a bad Joe Biden impression accent. There you go, folks. All American presidents since 1981. 1981 to date. What was your favourite? Thought my Clinton was alright, I haven't done that in a while. Takes it out of me, so yeah. Everybody gotta remember, that's the Bush. Of course it is, you squint, don't you? So of course that's what Will Ferrell does.
So update, I'm doing quite well, thank you.
Squinting.
Proven to be kinder to me than many of you thought. For the, I miss you too. For the longest time, I was considered the worst president of all time.
I forgot about that bit.
Yeah.
And he does a little, it's gross, but you've got to do a little, you've got to do that with your tongue, you've got to do like the... So apparently that's what George Bush does, apparently. Lighting is awful, apologies folks.
100 days.
Lighting's been awful all stream, but you stuck around, and I love you for it.